Success in 2022. What does it look like? And how do we actually get there? What I can tell you is many people are making very little mistakes that are preventing them from actually achieving success. And success can be different things. It can be money, it can be health related, it can be mental. There's a lot of different things that you need to understand. Because in the beginning of 2021, everybody had a plan. We were being told that the pandemic was almost over and things would go back to normal. Well, that didn't actually happen. But in 2022, this is said to be our year. Yes, finally. Health officials are already saying that the pandemic is nearing an end, and this means that we need to be ready to make 2022 the best year possible. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I've actually asked dozens of highly successful people, what advice would you give somebody that wants more out of 2022? I've also compiled a list and I put together their 2 most common answers along with a couple tips to help you achieve more. Now, I know that everybody has a different main goal in mind for 2022, but the principles behind the advice is beneficial no matter what your goals may be. For instance, maybe your goal is to buy a house, lose weight, take a long-awaited vacation, or something as simple as just moving up in your career, right? Success is not all about money. Success is actually defined as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. That's the definition of success. Success doesn't mean more money. Now, what I want to do today is I want to go over 2 big mistakes that people make, all right? So to be successful in 2022, you need to stop making these little mistakes. And mistake number 1 is you don't plan. This is something that many people fall victim to. Planning is the number 1 answer and has been the number 1 answer between anybody that I ask as to what would you recommend somebody does to achieve more, to have greater success, make more money, lose weight, accomplish things in their life that they've never accomplished before. The number 1 answer was plan. Without planning for a successful year, you're never going to get there. And the majority of people that mention planning, they actually referred me to one of my favorite quotes. This is actually a quote by Benjamin Franklin. You may know this, and it is, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. This is key. Now, recently, I had a friend, let me just give you a little story here. I had a friend that he asked me about living in Puerto Rico for the summer. He really wants to spend the entire summer down there with his family, but he didn't know where to start. So I asked him, well, what's your plan? He didn't have one. He just said, I want to go to Puerto Rico. I asked him, well, how much is it going to cost? He didn't know. I said, okay. Well, essentially what happened was he was planning to do something without actually having a plan as to how to accomplish this task. And this was the major issue. So I sat him down and I explained what must be done in order to achieve this goal even before he leaves. He owns his own home. So somebody has to watch over his home for like 2 months. His family has pets who will not be making the trip, so they must be taken care of as well. He also works remotely, but, and here's a big but, his employer hasn't given him the green light on taking a full 2 months off yet, or a full 2 months working remotely. They want him to come into the office every so often. And so these are just some of the things that he didn't plan for. But do you see why planning is key? And it's really the key to everything, to getting what you want. But this is what normally happens. People have big lofty goals, but they don't have a plan to actually achieve said goal. And one study that I found just recently, it said that spending half the amount of time planning that you do on daydreaming about something, it will actually increase your chances of reaching that goal by more than 80%. That's a huge, huge difference. Now, here's one tip that I have for anybody that needs help planning, is to write stuff down. Just write it down. I have a few different lists. I have a list right here. I also have a list right here of just different things that I'm planning on doing today, with steps on how to achieve those things. This is what I do every single day. I usually do it at night so that I know, okay, this is what I'm going to do when I wake up in the morning. I'm going to do this and this and this, and then my day will be done, right? Experts say that by writing stuff down and actually putting pen to paper, okay, pen to paper or pencil to paper, whatever you want to use, this helps you mentally retain the information. They also say that seeing what needs to be done on a piece of paper, not on a phone or a tablet or a computer, but on a piece of paper, this will actually help you to start prioritizing what you should start with. And this will help you create a plan, a starting plan. And that's key. So one thing I can tell you, and one of the biggest things that I think has helped me become more successful, is to plan every step of my day. Plan anything that I want to accomplish. For instance, let's say I want to go on vacation. And let's say the vacation that I want to take costs $3,000. Okay, perfect. For most people, they're like, $3,000, that's a lot. Well, I guess I can charge it to a credit card. I guess I can, I don't know. I could ask for a raise, but asking for a raise isn't going to get you $3,000 immediately. So you got to plan. Start with $3,000. That's my end goal. So then work backwards. Okay, maybe I have 30 months to make this, get to my goal, $3,000. All right, I got 30 months. Well, how much money do I need to save every single week in order to get there? Well, if I have, did I say 30 months? I meant 30 weeks. If I have 30 weeks, well, then I can know, okay, 3,000 divided by 30, that gives me $100 a week that I have to save. Simple. I'm planning for that vacation. So if you can plan, you will have greater success in 2022. And mistake number 2 is never asking for help. Now, have you ever heard of the expression, if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room? The reason I bring this up is because you never want to be the smartest person in any room, because that actually limits the amount of people that you can turn to for help and advice. Think about this. If your goal in 2022 is to move up in your current position, right? Level up in your company, how will you accomplish this? Maybe, just maybe, somebody else that you work with has recently got a promotion. Well, this would be ideal, because this is a great person to connect with to find out what they did to get that promotion. Now, one thing that I want to say is asking for help is a great tool. This is something that most people don't do. This is something that many people think is a sign of weakness. And honestly, I don't think that's the case. In my opinion, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a shortcut to getting exactly where you want to go faster. That's the key. Now, here's the best tip that I have for you when it comes to asking for help. This is something that I've done multiple times over the last, probably the last 18 years, is I create a list of people who I believe could help me and provide some insight as to what I plan on doing. Then I would either text or I'd email them to see if they would be willing to give me just 5 minutes of their time. Get on the phone and just talk for 5 minutes. Here's the reason why I asked for 5 minutes. Asking for 5 minutes is like the polite way of getting more time. Because when you finally speak to somebody, they are most likely going to answer your questions. They're going to be excited about helping somebody out, and they're going to give you more than 5 minutes. I can tell you right now, when people ask me for 5 minutes of time, I know 5 minutes would be more like the introduction and getting a little bit of insight as to what they are planning. And then I'll probably spend about 20 to 25 minutes answering their questions. So 5 minutes is really more like 30 minutes. But again, when you finally get a chance to speak to these people, here's my tip. Be open. It's going to be very uncomfortable to share things like your finances or your goals or currently where you're at right now. But this is what these people need to hear. They need the information so that they can help you with the information that you are seeking. So my advice is to reach out to people. Sometimes people are going to say no, they don't have the time, or, I wish I could help you, but I don't think I could really provide much insight. Well, they don't know that for sure. So here's what I can tell you. If you want to have more success in 2022, it doesn't matter if it's financial, if it's because of fitness and health, it could be something for your business, your relationships, maybe you want to buy a new house or whatever it may be. All you got to do, plan for that success in 2022, and don't be afraid to ask questions and get help. That's what I highly recommend. Now, here's one thing I just want to ask, and I'll give you mine as well. But what is one thing that you want to accomplish in 2022? I'm just curious. You can always answer that question down in the comment section below. This is mine, okay? I'll be very honest. My goal is to actually lose 15 pounds. It's not a lot of weight, but 15 pounds for me gets me back to where I normally am. Here's the issue. Over the past couple of years, I spend a lot of time inside. I'm not actively out, and I used to do this a couple years ago and years before that, but I would be going out to stores every single day, and I'd be shipping products off to Amazon and eBay, just trying to get my reselling business, keep it where it was at. Well, over the past couple of years, I've really outsourced a lot of that, and so the majority of my time, I'm sitting here on the computer. It's not the funnest thing because I don't get up too much, but that's pretty much my day. And a lot of you guys have asked, hey, can you show me a day in the life? Well, I would, but, you're seeing it. Sit in front of a computer. I sit in front of a computer almost all day long, right? Spend time with my kids, spend time with my wife, get a little bit of a workout in. That's it. So that's my personal goal for 2022 is to just lose 15 pounds. So again, is it uncomfortable to say this? Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want to be more successful. So that's what I can tell you right now. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope this video helps you and gets you to that next goal and makes you more successful this year. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.